This has to do with current music and radio. New York DJ Elvis Duran. You've heard of him? Big name in our industry.
Legend.
Z100 New York and
That's
syndicated.
like the pop station, right, in New York?
Oh, yes. And syndicated throughout the country. Elvis Duran. And now has been on, television shows. I think he guest hosts with Kelly Ripa sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, he's done that. I think he's on all the Hollywood type shows.
Attacked by a woman as he walked on 6th Avenue and 14th Street on Tuesday. He was turning a corner when an aggressor approached him and stabbed him with a sharp object, cut his face. Or he said, tried to cut my face. Her fist coming down out of nowhere. He was nicked, but okay. And he says, nothing will keep me off the streets of New York City. I'll continue to walk these streets.
It's my town.
This is my city. I love my city. And he said he's still a little bit gun shy. He's still a little torn up over this. But he talked about with the incident with a group of friends at the gym, which is where he was headed, and says, I understand mental illness, and this woman had a mental illness, but geez, do you have to attack me out of nowhere? That's what he said.
Yeah.
Was the woman arrested, or did he just move on?
She was arrested, and Duran said that there was a woman behind her that screamed for police. And he says, it's a difficult thing to go through, of course. So he maintained that he loves his city and will continue to walk around New York City. He said everybody was in shock that it happened. Excuse me, and I'm wrong on this. I messed this up. She stabbed him slightly, nicked him, and then was gone. And nobody knows where she is, who she is, just out of the way and done. And he says that, of course, it still got him shattered. That's a DJ for you.
Does that give you a day off from work? A stabbing in the streets of New York in the face?
If you want it, I think you could take it.
I think you could there.
Here's the thing. If Biggie was stabbed in the face walking his dog on the streets of our city, and Biggie told Chris Kelly, I was stabbed in the face by a lunatic, I might need a personal day. Kelly would purse his lips and cut his eyes and judge.
And judge. It would be given, of course, when somebody texts and says, oh, I feel terrible. I have to roll my eyes silently at home. And then
burst your lips.
And then I have to say hours later, I let them hang for about 3 or 4 hours. And then I say, oh, whatever, we're thinking of you.
Your health is paramount.
Man, you don't know this, and I'll reveal this, but my girlfriend has been very sick this week.
Oh, she has?
Very, very sick.
Fluish?
Very fluish. I mean, just truly the body aches, down for the count, sleeping, she just... can't. I mean, just very, very sick. My fear this entire week has been about getting sick.
You'd get sick
and have to tell you,
and you'd have to miss time
because she's like, take care of me. You're my boyfriend, and I'm like, you stay away from me.
Right? You don't want her.
She's like, how could you treat me this way? I can barely do anything. Make me some soup, and I'm like, I will open the can and I will dump it into a bowl, and I will go into the other room while you get it.
Don't you know my risk factors?
It's not my health. It's not my health. I'm not even worried about my health.
Well,
it's having to call Chris Kelly and say, I have the flu again.
You don't have many days left.
No.
You mean on Earth? Oh, you mean
I meant sick
the
days.
calendar.
I meant sick days.
Well, I know you're keeping up.
Oh, yeah. Many times I'll log into what we call Paytown here just to look at your...
Exactly, into mine.
Chris Demm can't. Chris Demm today...
I'm locked out.
Guess what it did to him again?
Locked him out?
Okay, he goes into Paytown. Paytown is like this overlord that we have here that handles all our sick days, vacation days, paychecks. You go on there, you see all your stuff. It's an HR. I guess a lot of companies use this now. We just got introduced to it 5 or 6 years ago, and when it came along, I said, oh, this is going to be great. But it really hasn't been great because you have to go through.
It's poorly designed and it's user unfriendly.
And it used to be if you wanted a day off, you told your boss, hey, I'm going to take next Friday. Okay, that's it, Or, we're taking this week for vacation. Or, hey, I did this and I would get payment for this. Okay, you write it down on a piece of paper. So now it has to be logged in there. You have to go in. And here's what it does. And it did it to Chris Demm. Said, uh-oh, your password's up in 2 days. You better change your password. Now, Chris Demm doesn't like that, okay? He doesn't like it. So now here's what I heard. So Chris Demm says, all right, I'll change my password. And he furiously types one in.
Tap, tap.
And then he says, uh-oh, You chose a password you used in the last 4 tries.
It always does that to me.
So he tries again.
Tap.
Nope, not good enough. You tried that one a year ago. You used that one already. So delete. So then it's like, one more chance.
That's all you got.
And he tried it.
I'm just thinking of using profanity.
You should. That's what you should do.
Like blank you, Paytown.
Yep. That's
that my password.
I'm sorry, that's too common of a password.
Right.
Too easily hacked.
Then it'll get him on that one. And then, of course, it'll be like, what was your dog's name when you were 5 years old? What was the first car you drove? And then you have to remember, how did I write this? And what did I put?
Exactly.
We've gone all over this. That's right.
So I didn't have time. I thought I'd budgeted. Yeah. I figured it would take just a few minutes, and now I'm fuming, and it'll be in the back of my head throughout the entire program.
That's right.
I'll have to get to it later.
That's exactly right. So he'll have to go and do that.
I don't want to be distracted. We got a Gen Z game.
You got a Gen Z game. I'm distracted because just 2 minutes before this show, Biggie shared some wonderful news about a colleague, and all I'm thinking is, I'm seething with rage and jealousy.
I know.
He's had a big break in his career. And what I should be thinking is, that's wonderful for him. But what I'm mostly thinking is, how dare he?
What about me?
What about me?
Where's my windfall?
How come I can't get ahead? We have a dear friend and colleague who may have just come into a huge break and a lot of money. And all I can think is, you asshole.
Him?
What? This guy?
Why not me?
Why can't I can't reveal any more details than that.
No.
When I hear good news for other people that I work with, I always think, what about me? How come I can't? Maybe I'm not a good person. Yesterday I reported I was a good person.
You did, and I hate to keep repeating myself, but you know, if you are, you don't have to say it.
The test is if somebody drops something in a restaurant, department store, it comes out of their pocket, they don't realize, a quarter, a receipt, whatever. You go over to them, they don't realize it. You go over to, you pick it up, and you say, I'm sorry you dropped this.
I dropped this.
That means you're a good person, and I just did that on Saturday. I didn't want to brag, but
if you were to ask 6 people in this building, random 6, from any floor, any department, how long would it take them to describe you until the word nice shows up? Or good?
It's gonna be a time. It's gonna be a while.
Relentless.
Take a seat. It's gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a while. Words to describe it.
Use adjectives.
Or how far down on the list of nice people here?
Oh my goodness!
If you just stopped a random person and said, "Hey, name the nicest 3 people that work here,"
no, nobody's gonna say me. No, Kristen will get mentioned.
Yeah,
he says something, does something, cares about. No, I'm never mentioned like that. In fact, you were talking about missing days, which you're not going to be able to do anymore. I always check your sick days, and they're
they're
dwindling.
Side note: I like the fact that when Biggie's girlfriend is deathly ill, she moves in with him.
I know.
She has her own place.
She has her own place. What's she doing there?
She spent 2 nights at home when she was her sickest,
and then came to your place.
Yeah, and then came to my place.
Why?
Because she's like,
don't answer.
No good reason.
No good reason. She's just there.
She's like, I'm not contagious anymore. I'm like, I don't know.
How do people know that? That's what people always say. That.
Yeah.
I'm not contagious.
Well, she said, I've got 36 hours of antibiotics in me, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
You're not sure, and you just came off a bout with the flu, and that's when you discovered you were, according to Dave Aiken, quote unquote, down a chamber.
Yeah, that's still not true.
Not as bad as it seems.
Stop sending me ribbons.
Stop. It's not as bad as it seems. There's a woman, it's in our next segment on the grid, who is doing something to get her child out of school. And everybody thinks it's adorable. And I'm sitting here seething. I'm seething with rage over it. That's right. There's another DJ in the news here today. This is a disc jockey, radio personality. You heard about Elvis Duran, who was attacked by a...
Think that's his real name?
No, I don't think it's his real. And by the way, they put his age in the article. He's a top 40 DJ.
Yeah.
And they put...
he's playing... what's her name? Your girl?
Delilah?
No. The artist you like.
Taylor.
All the children you like.
Taylor Swift. Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia, that's it.
He's playing
Eilish.
Billie Eilish. He is always appear to be. That's what they tell you now when you get into radio. If you're doing the top 40, you can never reveal your age. You just remain ageless. You don't even say, if it's a milestone birthday, you just say milestone birthday. You don't say I'm turning 40.
Well, because your target audience tends to skew younger and female, and occasionally you.
Right. Well, me.
You've got the taste of a tween.
I do. I have to admit that, man. When the
tween music comes on.
Yesterday at the gym, we had a special thing. You'll find this funny too. We had usually it's run, it's row your boat, it's lift your weights. Okay. Mm-hmm. So yesterday though, they had a specialized workout it was all power walking up a hill. So you have to go all the way up a hill and all the way back down. And they called it treadmill strut because they put it. The beats on the music got faster and faster and faster as you went.
You're supposed to keep up.
And they say. And the coach was like, all right, step to the beat. Step to the beat. And then she'd go, Chris, you're off. Chris, you're off. Chris.
She didn't know what she was working with.
She had no idea.
You don't know beats.
No, I don't know.
You have no rhythm.
No, none. But the playlist was Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, and it just kept on getting faster and faster. And I was just like, yeah, girl, get it. And they thought I was like some sort of tween. They put Elvis Duran in this article where he got nicked by a
New York loon.
Yeah. His words.
Yeah. Apologies to the loons.
He's 58.
Ooh.
I bet he wants that redacted.
He wants that out.
Correction. We don't know. We don't know.
5'8".
5'8".
My God, just stab me in the face again. No one in radio wants that out.
I'd rather be stabbed
in the top 40.
No, I'd rather be stabbed in the face to have him know I'm 58. 58. Mm-hmm. What? That was the most surprising part, not the New York loon stabbing him.
No,
that's the surprising part of the thing.
I'll tell you another thing that immediately I thought was working in radio. How will radio colleagues handle this story?
Right.
Because to me, there's two ways. People who've met him in the industry post a picture with him, thinking of Elvis this morning. After a lot of that, I think. A lot of that, right. Or do you go, bad joke, possible opening in big market?
Right.
There's only two ways radio people will
one or the other.
Yeah.
You're
bad
exactly
joke,
right.
Or sending thoughts and prayers this morning to my colleague. You met him you met him one time 15 years ago at a conference.
Convention.
Saw him across the room.
But you have a picture with him or something.
Right, exactly. The dear friend Elvis Duran. The other, I was reading today. Now we do radio. I look on these radio boards. These are we always give.
It's a community.
It's an exchange of information and ideas. It's a community, exactly. Now, have I ever put anything up there? No, I don't even really know how. Most of I just read it and go, oh, okay, this, that. There's one guy that's been on there for 25 years. Chris Demm and I met him at a convention. Okay, I have a picture with him.
See,
nice guy, well known in our industry, and he says he went to the. Listen, see if you could do this. I think Chris Demm could. I don't think Biggie can. And I don't think I can. He went to the doctor, and the doctor said, this has been a while now. Your blood pressure's up. It's too high. Your blood pressure is too high. And he said he was ready to make dietary changes and all this kind of thing, and he said, I want to try to control it without using medication.
Sure.
And the doctor said, okay, I'll give you to your next physical. See what you can do. Try to get your blood pressure down. We won't prescribe anything just yet. So his wife says, you got to eliminate stress from your life. And the most stressful thing in your life is the alarm. Now, his alarm goes off at 3:45 a.m. He works our shift. Her alarm goes off at 5:30, and he's writing this on the radio board. And she said, you're going to wake up. Don't set the alarm. Don't set the alarm. You're going to wake up. You don't need that honk at you at 3:45 in the morning. So he said, I've been doing this job 30 years. I figure I'll wake up on my own. She said, you're going to wake up. Don't worry about the alarm. He doesn't set an alarm anymore. And he wakes up, he says, between 3:45 and 4:15 every day without fail and gets into work on time. No way could I do that. There's no way.
I think that would stress me out more. Knowing that there was no alarm.
That's right.
I'd wake up more through the night.
And you wouldn't get any sleep.
I agree. Now, he addressed that. He said the first few days I was worried.
You wake up every hour.
But then he said after he settled into it, he got it, and after about 2 weeks, he sleeps well, and his blood pressure, according to his home machine, he's one of those. He's got a home machine,
or that goes to the Walgreens down the street.
Mm-hmm. He says his blood pressure's down like 20 points. Been doing it for a few months now, and his blood pressure's down 20 points.
And it's down.
Yeah,
that's surprising. You can't just do that with sleep.
Well, he says
there's got to be way other factors.
He says, "Look, I'm I'm not one that I have changed the diet some too.
Okay.
But he also says he never feels stressed when he wakes up. He's more rested and he's not groggy in the middle of the day. But there's no way I could do that because too many times the alarm wakes me up.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
see. I will say this: my alarm doesn't wake me up
ever.
I normally wake up a few minutes before my alarm.
You do,
and it bugs me because I feel like I'm losing that.
Of course,
10 minutes of sleep. But I bet I would probably wake up at the same time.
That's what he says.
I wake up every night to pee at the same time in the middle of the night now, and then I wake up right before my alarm.
I am generally awake before the alarm, but
you need it.
So, yeah,
Exactly.
but sometimes,
I do, yeah.
but sometimes we'll stay up and watch a basketball
Exactly.
game, or we'll go to a show, or
Right.
whatever.
Then you have to have.
Yeah, or there's a family thing, or you're traveling.
I agree.
It throws your schedule off. I mean,
Totally agree.
it's I couldn't do it.
Big-
More power to him, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
do it.
I no way I could because of what you just said. Now, yes, 3 days out of 5, I wake up 5 minutes before the alarm goes off. But on those other days, I mean, some days it gets me out of a deep sleep.
Yeah.
Usually if I've pickleball.
Yeah, like and once every 3 months, my wife will have to just say, "Hey, man, your clock's going
Right,
off."
right. So I agree.
So I
with
don't know
you.
how late I would have been.
You should try it, Biggie. Since you're so regular, you should try it. Just for
What's the worst that could happen?
what's the worst that could happen?
Hello, where are you?
I want you to try it for 2 weeks, and let's see how it goes. And if you walk in here late, you walk in here late.
Nope.
You know?
I'm not falling for this trap.
No, that would triple your stress.
Nobody's going to judge you.
Yeah, I just checked my blood pressure the other day. It's the best it's been in years. The doctor was thrilled. I'm not going
Really?
to change that.
Really?
Loso, man.
Loso.
Loso.
This is Loso.
It is amazing what it really does do.
The sodium he's taken out of his diet, and all of a sudden his blood pressure goes down. Maybe that's maybe the DJ has made some dietary changes as well.
Yeah, turning off your alarm is not going to drop your blood pressure that much.
He does say he feels a lot more rested, but I don't think I could do that.
But see, I have the same schedule even through the weekends now.
Really?
Where I'll go back to sleep, but my body is so set, it'll wake up at its normal time, and then I'll wake up, I'll pee, I'll go back to sleep.
Now the weekends, I set the alarm for usually 6 a.m. because I have to be at the gym by 7. I'm not sitting here trying to brag it. I'm just not sitting here.
You need an hour to get up?
I like to get up and stretch and have a banana. And then I like to leave for the gym at 6:30 to arrive at 6:40 so I can have 20 minutes of stretch time there before the class starts at 7 o'clock. I'm very regimented that way. Plus, usually I have a bowel movement. All right. Is it too much?
At your house?
And the gym. Yeah, I'll do first.
Depends on the day.
First at house, then at gym.
Huh.
I usually like to have, and I really want to get my body in absolute synchronicity, in tune before I step onto the treadmill. But many, many times, almost every Saturday, I've set the alarm at 6. I wake up at 5:40, way before the alarm goes, 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah,
before
I
the
don't
alarm goes.
sleep in. I mean, I haven't slept in. My girlfriend can sleep in still. I can't do it.
Well, she's deathly ill.
And she is younger, I guess, too.
Right,
But I'll
exactly.
wake up.
20s.
Right, exactly.
I'll
She's
wake
still-
up on a weekend and
That's right.
she'll sleep another 3 hours.
You're like Rupert Murdoch. You're dating someone younger. Yeah,
I got your Starbucks.
Yeah, you'll go out and do
Been
all
up
that
since
stuff.
7.
A couple of reversals also. I wanted to. This is something from yesterday. I said, and I've said this many times, it's over for Donald Trump. It's not happening for Donald Trump because of these indictments and all of those things. He's now leading over Joe Biden in a poll, 49% to 40. I just read that today. So that's like the Kelly curse in reverse. I talked a lot yesterday about the Cashapp. I had seen something on the back of a windshield that said Cashapp us some money. The founder, the starter of Cashapp, stabbed on the streets, just like Elvis Duran, but to death.
Yeah.
Stabbed to death. I got a lot of emails saying this is the worst Kelly
The
curse.
heaviest, darkest Kelly curse.
I never even mentioned the word Cash App until yesterday. He gets stabbed the day I mentioned it. The day I mentioned it. How horrible is that? He was a tech icon. I mean, people loved him.
I'll tell you, man.
I know.
If I had that kind of money he had, security.
Was it a robbery or were they just
I don't know. I just saw stabbed to death in San
I
Francisco.
think they're still trying to figure it out.
which is off my list for many reasons.
San Francisco?
Yeah. But they're all the crime there
It's
now.
very hilly.
The hills?
The hills.
Is it the hills?
The liberals.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The violence, the crime,
feces on the street.
Exactly.
They do say that's the worst
dirty city.
I hear it's incredibly dirty with human and dog feces all over the streets. I read some article about dog feces in major cities way up on the sidewalks. Am I the only one surprised? I just.
I think Americans love picking up their poo.
Well,
their dog's poo.
I thought it was being done.
I will say this. You know, I live in an apartment complex that has a dog park.
Mm-hmm.
When I first moved in there, everyone cleaned up their poop. I've been there years now.
Yeah.
And I've never seen so much poop just laying around the dog park. I think people just are lazy, don't want to do it.
I think
someone else will do it.
Yeah. And that's true. There is the poor maintenance guy has to go through there with a little grabber and pick it all up. But when I first got there, no one did that.
Do you think this is a wild idea. Do you think it's because of the pandemic where we relaxed ourselves so much?
Yeah, maybe.
We wore more casual clothing. We worked on our own schedule. We worked from home.
I'm worried about life and death. I'm not going to pick up
I don't
poo.
care about picking up dog crap. Exactly. And then you don't, once you get into a habit, you just don't do it anymore. I don't know. But that was the headline, was that there's never been so much dog feces on our streets and in our parks. And,
sure.
That nobody's picking it up anymore. Aaron, I thought there'd be more outrage and whatever, but...
No, most people just like,